Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. So I'm going to be doing a guide on Mausoleum Mage today. I've had quite a lot of requests for this guy. They've seen him in my arena setup and people are trying to understand how good is he, where can I use him. So I'm going to do a guide on him today. Before I get into that, I'm just going to go into a couple of other things. So recently been doing a bit of work with the guys that run the website Raid Codex. It's a really good site. So when I first started playing Raid and I was looking on things like the official forums of Raid Shadow Legends, I expected to find quite a lot of information, champion guides, that type of thing. And really, it's a dead site. It's been a dead site since I started playing the game. And I ended up finding most of my information early on from Reddit or from YouTube. But even then, there wasn't a lot out there. So you're kind of blessed. If you're starting out now, you're blessed with a lot more information. But this site has done a really good job of kind of replacing what the Raid official forums should have done. So it's just got a lot of different bits of information around gearing. I think what the guys do here is they try and find good level of information on Reddit or on the web or on YouTube, whatever, and they basically bring that into their site so that anyone can sort of come here and find a number of different really useful bits of information. I'm going to be linking this website in my general information on my YouTube channel, so I think it's excellent. But yeah, so you've got things like gearing, you've got the best posts from Reddit, when to use things like Warmaster or Giant Slayer, things like latest posts from Cirilla. So this is a really good one here in terms of Cirilla lifting the points from 150 to 225 a day on the current events, which is what people have been asking for. So that's actually a really good reaction from Raid, from Plarium, which I'm pleased about. So anyway, you should come here, you should browse this site. There's got a lot of information in here. I've also now got a kind of banner for me. So what the guys are doing is they're putting in my Clan Boss series. So every time I upload a new one of my Clan Boss series, that's going to come here just with a kind of brief overview of what it is. But yeah, this is just a really good site for general information. Do you want help building a spider team? Do you want help understanding masteries, that type of stuff? So pretty cool. Also, if there's a patch release, then they give a bit of an overview of what's going on in the patch. Again, I've always played games where there's been sites like this around that help people, and I haven't really found good ones for Raid Shadow Legends up until now. So worth just bookmarking this site, checking in now and then. Yeah, but I think it's really cool. That's one thing. One other point, I say this probably once a fortnight, but right now, about 60% of you are not subscribed to my channel, but you watch my videos regularly. Wow. Just subscribe, it's totally free. If you're going to watch my videos anyway, please subscribe, it helps me a lot. I've just gone over 6k subs, which is fantastic. I'm going to do another giveaway for 2 account makeovers or takeovers, whatever you want to call it, when I get it to 8k subs. So it's a bit of a watch this space, but yeah, please, if you watch the videos regularly, subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything, it's just a click away. Anyway, let's get into Mausoleum Mage. So this champion for me, I didn't really care much for him. He was sitting in my vault for a while, and it wasn't until I started to get into Platinum Arena and I wanted to find a way to support my my kind of tank high resist team that I turned to this guy. And let me just talk you through his skills and kind of talk you through why he is so good in the current meta. So his A1's nothing special actually. It's got a chance to decrease speed on an enemy, which is nice. You have to build high accuracy to make that happen if you want it for arena, but generally it's not a bad A1. It's attack based. I'm not going to build him high attack, so it's never going to hit that hard. I guess you could try and make him hit hard, but this is the only ability that hits, so it's a waste of time. He is a pure support champ. This is not what he's about. Landing the decreased speed on a single target is okay. When you're going to do it, maybe on spiders, maybe a single target in the arena, but that's not what he's about. This ability is not what he's about. So if we go into his second ability, this ability is really strong. So places block debuffs for 1 turn, places a 30% increased crit rate buff and a 60% increased defense on all allies for 2 turns. All 3 of these things are insanely good in the arena. They're really helpful in dungeon clears. They're strong in Clan Boss. This ability here on a 3-turn cooldown is insanely strong, really strong. And if you only want to book anything on him, you want to book this one, get it to 3 turns. So you could get lucky and literally just need to use 1 book on this guy and he's totally usable. So this is a really strong ability, and I'll talk you through why when we get into some of the content. But this is his kind of crown jewels ability here. He's then got, on a 4-turn cooldown when booked, this ability here, which is also very good. So it removes all debuffs from all allies. So if you've got a load of decreased defenses on you, decreased attacks, poisons, any of that sort of stuff, this will clear it right off. It heals all allies by 10% of this champion's max HP, so you want him quite high HP. And then it heals each ally by a further 10% if 1 or more debuffs are removed from that ally. So potentially you get up to 20% heal from this. And it fills each turn meter as well by 15% if 2 or more debuffs are removed from that ally. So if you're removing a couple of poisons off everyone, they all get a 15% turn meter boost. You get this 20% heal, which you can then book up to be stronger. I don't think this makes it 30, 40, 50. I'm not sure actually. I think it becomes 22, 24, 26, as in it's a multiplicative, I can't say the word, but you multiply it up rather than, it's not additive here. I think that's the wrong word as well, but hopefully you know what I'm saying. It doesn't go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I think it goes 20, 22, 24, 26%. But still very strong. So he's got 2 insanely strong abilities. They're all support based. And where I see him being best used, let's do his kind of ratings. So dragons, quite rightly, I'm rated a 5. I don't see many actual 5s, but he is a 5. So he can support you on the waves, and he can cleanse all of the stuff that the dragon puts on you, like your poisons and decrease attacks and stuff. So he's very good for dragons. Ice golems, I think he's very good for as well. Clan boss, he's got to be up there as one of the better supports. Definitely probably one of the best epic supports. Minnows, he's fine. Yeah, there's no worries there. Arena defense, very strong. Is he a 4 or 5? Maybe he's a 4 on defense. Offense, I think he's a 5 because you're in control of what he's doing. And then the keeps, he is good. Campaign, I'd say it's not. I don't really get why this is so high. He's definitely not going to be a campaign farmer. I guess he's a campaign support, but for me, that's not where you'd use him. Force keep, middle of the road. Spiders can be good to cleanse the poisons, put block debuffs up. We'll show you that as well. Fire Knights, he's got a single hit A1. He does have a lot of support, but it's not where he's used, I don't think. Magic Keep, similar. He's kind of middle of the road. He's not going to do anything special for you there. Spirit Keep, similar again, middle of the road. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how I've got him set up at the moment. So I've got him set up as a super high resistance. So he's got 500 resist, good speed, good defense, good HP. So if I show you his accessories first, we've got a defense ring with defense rolls, a defense amulet with accuracy and resistance on it. If I'd got another defense one with more resistance, I would have taken it. And then we've got a resistance banner with a defense roll and a bit of speed. So I've set him up as a resistance champion. He doesn't need accuracy unless you're going for that A1 reduced speed, which is, I'd say, is the wrong thing to do. I think build him high resistance, build him tanky, because ultimately what you want to do, you want for him to not be hit by any of the debuffs like your stuns and your provokes and that type of thing, because he can then cleanse everybody else's debuffs. As soon as he starts getting hit by the same stuff the rest of your team are, then his skill set becomes pretty redundant. I've got him in HP gloves. Defense gloves would be equally as good. I've got him in a resistance chest to build that resistance right up. And then I've got him in speed boots. You see here I've got 2 resistance set for speed. But we've basically got speed and resistance going right through the gear here. Resistance, 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 resistance chest, and resistance boots. Resistance on the boots at least. So as you can see, I'm building him up for high resist. His masteries reflect that as well. So we've got resistance, reduced damage, increased shields that people put on him. chance to drop a debuff if he actually picks one up, reduce damage, turn meter gain, chance to counter attack if he gets hit, more resistance. And then this is all about increasing the healing he does when he does his heal, chance to get his ability back quicker. And this is the reason why I've gone down this path, really, the main reason. So lasting gifts. So for any of the buffs that he's putting on, as a chance to increase them by 1 turn. So block debuffs as a 2-turn proc instead of 1 is massive for us, which is why I've gone that route. So that's his masteries, that's his skills, that's his kit. At the moment I've got him 204 speed, so he can fit into my clan boss team. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, firstly I'm going to show you him in arena. Just need to refresh my tokens. Who's been buying a few Conqueror packs recently? Right, refresh the tokens. So let's show you what you can do. So I'm going to find someone who's going to put a load of debuffs on me. Debuffs. She's got 100% chance to land. Let's see how we do against this team. He kind of comes in as my support champion. Now, where he's best is when he is paired up with other defensive champions, because his buffs are all about building up a defensive character. So whereas somebody like an Arbiter puts increased attack on your champions, this guy puts increased defense on your champions. Increased defense plus increased crit rate means people like Ignatius do a lot more damage. So let's just see what we've got. Yeah, I think this is good. Let's try this. So you'll see this in action here. So obviously I'm freezing up because of my Torment. We've got 1 freeze on him. So I've got 2 options now. I can either boost everybody's defense and put block debuffs up. So I can put block debuffs up because I know that a freeze is going to be coming from this Shiramani. So that is what I'll do. So now when she has her turn, I might even kill her turn with that. I didn't, so she's still going to have a go. No freezes can land because we've got debuff blocks. See the way that block there? So now I'm back in control of this game, and then I can use my team to start to control the map. So I put my provokes on, stops them using their main abilities. Let's speed it up to ×2. I could just get a bit of health gain here, but I don't want to chance this guy. I don't need to. I'd rather save that for re-cleansing any of the debuffs that come on. So I'm just going to go A1. I mean, it still hits reasonably hard. 7k is not a bad hit. I've got someone else in my team with block debuffs up. Now we start laying the slams in. So you see the 22, 30 odd Ks. That's because he had increased defense and increased crit rate, which is coming from Mausoleum Mage. That's one of the things that he's just really strong at. And then we just throw it on auto. Got the decreased speed away, not that we need it really at this stage. But it just kind of shows you the utility he brings to the arena at this level, and we're talking about top plat here, is brilliant. Especially if you've got a defense-based team. So these 2 abilities here, increased crit rate, see the damage he's doing? Crit rate and defense, those 2 things are perfect for Ignatius. Those 2 things make me do more damage, basically. Especially because I don't have 100% crit rate on this guy. I think I've got like 70 or 80%. So he just tops up his crit rate, make sure those crits are coming off, and we get a good clear. Let's look for someone else who's going to try and put debuffs on me. This has just got to be a joke team or something. Okay, so we've got a debuffer here. Maybe what I'll do, I'll run a team, so I've got massive resistance in this team anyway, so they're not really going to be debuffed. So let's try a different sort of setup. So we've got low resistance here. Let's go speed lead into fears. And then perhaps we'll do something like her, who does, I might not win this round actually, but I'll try it anyway. So she does decrease defense and weaken on these guys. So the idea here is these guys might all be frozen, or this is going to land. See, all these have landed. So now I increase the speed of my guys. They're probably all going to be frozen up. See this? So the idea here is I actually cleanse all of that off. Now the only trouble is Tormund's just a bit disgusting against this team because I've got low resistance here now. So I can clear these off. There's a chance they're just going to be frozen straight away again because he's going to heal at the same time. So see, 3 of them, all of them frozen. That's why I think this team might not win. But you can kind of see it. So if he wasn't being frozen there, so what I could have done first is actually this ability. I could have said, actually forget the fact that they're frozen right now. Let's block debuffs, and then next time round I could have cleansed, which might have been a better way of doing it. So this is probably, it might be unwinnable, I don't know. It might just be too much in terms of debuffs coming at me here. We shall see, we shall see. So my mage is taking the pounding, which is okay actually. I mean, at this stage his work is kind of done. So let's just go in here. Hopefully we actually get a turn where we're not frozen. So get my fears off. Everyone just gets frozen up for doing nothing. Look, this witch, if she ever gets a turn, she's really effective, but she rarely gets a turn when Tormund's around. Is there any benefit in that? No, I'm just going to try and steal some buffs and decrease turn meter. This might end up being a long boring fight, to be fair. It now shows you why I so often go for increase resistance teams. Look at this witch, she's just stuffed again right now. She hasn't had a turn yet, she's been frozen the whole time. So Jack's down. I think I'm just going to end it. I'm not going to win that round, but perhaps what I'll do, if I get my warlord into that same team, might give you a better view of what's actually going on. So let's swap her out. She's not doing any work for me. Take her out for him. So you'll see Jack will still be the one who gets loads of CC put on him. See the difference now? Now I'm throwing freezes on all of them. So what I'm going to do now is block debuffs so that that freeze is not going to keep landing. Got it for 2 turns, so actually he's going to get a go before long. We then get some offense going. They've got low accuracy as well, low resistance as well. I've got nothing to clean off. We've still got block debuffs up on Jack. So I've got no worries here for now. I've got a second person in there that can place that block debuffs for me. I don't need it yet actually, I'm just going to save that. Jack's going to get his turn and throw the mass spheres up. And see just how a slight change of sort of setup, all of a sudden this game is like, this team is easy to beat. That's why I'd advise people to have more than one kind of arena setup, maybe like 5 or 6 at least champions that can sub in. So I'll put my block debuffs back up. Obviously the heal first does this. This is what I hope they fix about Tormund. Because at the moment it's too ridiculous. You get frozen on too many things. They're taking an awful long time to do it, but they've said, they've released today that actually everyone got legendary books today, and there's been a message out just to say it's coming. So I'm probably spending more time than I wanted to in the arena here. I'm just going to finish this fight and then we'll go and look at some other content. But it does kind of show him in action. That's his first death. We're just going to peel off those buffs. Jack is crazy good in the arena, by the way. If anyone's got him and is not using him, he's really good in the arena in the current meta. So many people putting up stacks of debuffs. So try and kill her off. So again, he's benefiting, Tormund's benefiting from the increased defense and crit rate that Mausoleum Mage puts up. I don't have anyone here who's a nuker. That's the problem. I've got a lot of support type champions, so it's a bit of a slow and steady kill. Let's kill her off, and then just throw the auto on to take Torment out. So for me, this is probably the best use of Mausoleum Mage in the current meta in the arena. I really like him. But he's also really good in Dragon's Lair. He's pretty good in Spiders, and he's very good in Clan Boss. So I shall show you those different areas as well once we get through this fight. And yeah, you'll kind of get to see what else he can bring to the table. I was hoping we would just slam this guy down, but here we go, at last. Right. So... and you can just get a feel. So I'm like, what, top 120 arena right now. So I know it's only reset recently, but it kind of shows you the level I'm up against. So let's show you him in a couple of dungeons. So we're going to dragons first. So if I think about a dragon's team, I'm going to do a full video on how to beat the dragon. But basically what I'm looking for is a few things. So I'm looking for somebody that can put decreased defense on my team, so on the enemy. So Tayrael's a good example of that. Tayrael's going to be good paired with this guy, with Mausoleum Mage, because he's defense based character. This guy buffs defense and crit rate. We can then throw in, we've got somebody in here for control, so this person will control the wave. We'll put somebody in as a healer, so we've got Apothecary here for healing. I could obviously go much stronger. I could put someone like Arbiter in. I could put in people that can nuke the waves. That's not what I'm trying to show you here. I'm just trying to show you a kind of more reasonable setup. I might put Steel Skull in instead. Also gives us an increased defense, albeit it's negative affinity, so maybe that's not the right thing to do actually. Where's Apothecary gone? There we go. And then we've got somebody in for poison, so this guy's going to be my poisoner. Again, you know, I could throw Bad L in here. I could throw in much stronger champions and do it a lot quicker. But the role of Mausoleum Mage here is to increase defense and resist the things like the stuns and the poisons that the actual dragon does. So he's support for waves, and then he's a cleanser for the actual dragon fight. Just see the way this works. We've got somebody who's going to speed us up. We've got somebody who's going to decrease defense. My Mausoleum Mage then increases defense, and then we start doing damage. My Bellower is in there purely for control. So he is placing these stuns. He's in the stun set. He's in there. So the thing to be aware of here, he is negative affinity for Dragon 20, which is a bit of a problem, but I want to show you how effective he is anyway. So he's good in a team that's got something like an HP burn. So my Ignatius has got AoE HP burn. So what he can do is, basically when you've got someone with AoE HP burn, you actually want the rest of the team just to stay alive whilst the HP burn does its damage. So a good sort of setup here would be, let me think what I can put in with him that's not too overpowered. So maybe we do something like a Steel Skull, Apothecary for speed. We do my HP burn on Ignatius. We then want some sort of control for the spider. So Mausoleum Mage is going to be in there to cleanse. He can take hits and he will resist most of the poison that comes from the spiderlings in his current build. So he's quite good for that. We want somebody into healing, which would be Steel Skull. We also need some turn meter reduction. Actually, yeah, I do need turn meter reduction. Maybe we put in my Cold Heart. Maybe I do both of them. I could do both of them. I could do somebody like a marksman. Don't know if he's geared right though. So a quick check. If you guys don't know, you can hold down left click on anybody, hit their total stats, and you'll see how they're actually set up at the moment. So what we've got crit rate, we've got low speed. Yeah, he's not geared very well. I'm going to do a guide on him since he's been buffed, but that's not for now. Tayrael can do some work on reducing turn meter, so maybe we use Tyrell. Yeah, let's do that. He also does a decreased defense, which is going to help us for the Cold Heart nuke. So let's get into it. So as I say, Mausoleum Mage, his main job is to keep us alive. So he is basically going to be putting up buffs, increased defense, block debuffs. So when these spiders come at us, we're not going to be getting debuffed. So see, he's not getting the poisons because of this block debuff. Spider is taking a lot of damage from this burn. We've got somebody else keeping him going for the heals. And then Ignatius comes and wipes the board. Ignatius actually no longer is the best HP burner in the game because of that second ability that wipes the board. Somebody like Tyrant is actually a lot better. But still, he's still extremely strong at this. So now we're kind of in that stage where you're just kind of waiting for cooldowns to come back round. It's a bit of a rinse and repeat stage. The reason why they're targeting Cold Heart's the negative affinity is because this guy's got the buffs on. So Cold Heart, see, as soon as his block debuffs went away, he becomes the target again. The question is whether he actually stays alive here. He probably won't because I've not got him tanky enough. No, he's going to drop. I could have just done that heal a second earlier. But his work is almost already done because all we're doing is just setting up. It's a complete setup for this kind of reduced cooldowns coming back round again so that we can start doing things like the nuke. HP burn will be coming up next. And at that stage you're already in good shape to win this fight. And you kind of see here, Cold Heart's going to drop pretty quickly. She's got no real defense against these spiderling hits. And then it's just a case of the spider burns down with every time one of these little spiderling moves. I've probably got a little bit too much AoE damage in here actually, but never mind. I still think this is pretty easy clear. He says. It's getting pretty close now actually. Getting pretty close. We just keep speeding up. We just keep working our way through it. So, I mean, I've literally just picked 5 champions out of my champion pool that I thought would kind of work. I've not geared them specifically for Spider, but I still think we're going to get there. We've got enough utility in the heals. We've got enough damage that's about to come out of this Ignatius with his kind of final AoE burn. It will land before the Spider does the next kind of heal stage. Oh, that was the hill stage. Maybe not. Is it coming now? Yeah, here we go. So now every time one of these spiders moves, they're going to burn, and we've got enough. We've got enough kind of cooldown control still, turn meter control, for this to be a successful kill. Albeit probably not as clean as I'd like to show, but it gives you an idea anyway. Not every fight is going to be clean. All you need to do sometimes is just get the job done. You see here, one more burn, he's down, 3-minute kill, and that is that. So that's Mausoleum Mage and Spider. He's not ideal for Spider because he's negative affinity. If it wasn't negative affinity, he would actually be insanely good. Also, if I built him with a bit more protection, so if I had someone in this team that was able to shield, then that would help, like a miscreated monster. In fact, that would help a huge amount. But yeah, that is Spider. So let's move on. It can be, maybe I'll show you Ice Golems. He's pretty helpful in Ice Golems as well, because there is quite a lot of, again, he's the wrong affinity for it, but he can help for this. So let's put in a team that's going to be a bit quicker, I think, this time. So what I'm going to show you on Ice Golem is what happens if you throw him in with a team of tanks. And tanks, obviously, when I say tanks, I mean defense-based champions. So he boosts defense, he boosts crit rate. So in Ice Golems, let's see what happens when you've got people that can do AoE, decreased defense. We get these buffs on. Look at that, 50 odd K per hit there, 70 odd K here. Everyone is just literally dropping like you wouldn't believe, 60k. They're just getting slapped all over the park. Come around for round 2. On goes that buff again. 30k. No one's hitting for less than like 25k basically. Decreased defense right the way across the board. Got to watch out that we don't end up just killing ourselves here, which we probably will, because we're hitting so hard. It's ridiculous. We're hitting so hard we're killing ourselves. Old Tan can pick people up though, that's good. You see here, buff goes back up again. Basically trying to kill himself again. 100k hit, boom from Old Tan. Loves it. And we get to the boss in under a minute. So yeah, this isn't like a specialist team for Ice Golem. I just wanted to see what would happen really, or show you what happens when you really kind of make use of this guy. We've got a lack of healing in this team, so we might not even do it, to be fair, but I just thought it'd be good fun. So as always, what they do is they target the ads first. We do have the block debuffs on, which means that these ads can't put things like decreased defense on us. We'll get decreased defense on this guy, and then it's just sort of slam dunk time. Pretty effective, do a lot of damage really quick. And we'll get back round to the ads again. Even the big swipes, because of that increased defense, although it hurts, it's not like insane. Keep the heals coming as well. So it becomes a very good support champion for pretty much any of the dungeons. You see there, he just tried to put reduce healing on us, but everyone had block debuffs up, so nothing landed. Sabadai's just taking a bit of a pounding. Old Town will sort him out. Tayrail's the only one in lifesteal gear here. Even there, things like decreased defense, decreased attack all go on. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut it off here. We've got no danger of not completing this. I just wanted to show you what he can do in terms of utility. This will be a clear, probably that'll be about 5 minutes or something. And then we'll go on to the clan boss. Yeah, so we cleared out the Ice Golem's Peak stage 25 minutes. Got something straight for the bin, as always. Straight in the bin. And let's move on then. So we've done, what have we done so far? We've done arena, we've done the dungeons. Let's go into clan boss. Do I have a key? Probably not. No, I've already done my damage here. I'm just going to jump on a different server. Okay, so we're into showing you clan boss. So what this guy does, he basically becomes your cleanser or your block debuffs champion. So the speed you would actually want him to be is just, you'd want him to be your slowest except your counter attacker. So let me think about what team I could actually use here. Bad L at the moment does cleanses for me. So I don't have him geared to the right speed. I'm not going to change his speed just for this. I just want to show you what he can do. So I think I'm going to run Tayrail there. Run him in this setup like this. I think this kind of works. So I'm not going to run it on auto. I'm going to show you a manual so you can see what he actually does. So you want to save this ability, the block debuffs, until later in the game. So you just go with your A1 here. Ideally you've got him in masteries that does things like War Master. I don't have him that's set up on this, but I'm just showing you where he can be used in the clan boss fight and used really effectively as well. So we do our normal kind of intro. Got your decreased attack and decreased defense on early. Poison start to rain in. So again, on this wave here, you just go A1 again. As I say, ideally he's slower than this. He's going after these champions. But I don't have him set up on the right speed. So the second hit comes in. You get all of your counter attacks as normal. And then ideally what happens is you get all of your champions to go except your counter attacker. He then places this block debuffs and increased defense. So he's your second increased defense champion at this stage. So you see block debuffs, block debuffs, block debuffs right across the board. And then what happens is or what should happen if you didn't use all of these abilities afterwards, because he would have gone last. When the clan boss comes in for the stun, the debuff is blocked. See that? So he didn't take a stun. He's the alternative of having a bad L in there as a cleanser. So basically, you don't have anyone get stunned anywhere through the fight. This is on a 3-turn cooldown anyway, once it's booked, and at that stage you will never kind of lose that first hit from your team. So it's doing 2 things for you. Well, it's doing 3 things actually. It's giving you more defense, it's giving you a higher crit rate, and it's doing that block debuffs for you, so you're not getting stunned and people aren't losing their kind of their sync in the fight. So that's really effective. One of the other things you can do, actually, I'll show you as well quickly. When you get into different affinity bosses, like let's say you're facing the green affinity boss and he's going to put decreased speed on everyone. The other thing he can do really well is use this ability, which is a cleanse. Cleanses any debuffs off. Goodbye debuffs, and you're not kind of faced with that decreased speed or decreased attack or poisons or whatever it is. So he does a couple of things at once. I forgot to put his block debuffs back up. Anyway, I ran it on auto from here. Gives you an idea. He's very useful in clan boss. So just to summarise, I'd say he's one of the best epics in the game for arena in the current meta, in this kind of tank meta. I think he's excellent on dragons, definitely for a mid to end game player. I think he's useful on things like ice golems, useful on spider, but not the best. And I think he's actually one of the top tier epics for clan boss for doing that kind of cleanse or block debuffs job. So if you got him and you're sitting on him in your vault, I would advise you level him up. He's a very good champion. Yeah, this has been Hell Hades. That's my Mausoleum Mage guide. Catch you soon.